Alright guys, happy Saturday. Today's home workout is a chipper workout, so we're going through it at once. 30 minutes to finish this one. If you are just a little bit past that, that's okay. But just to give you a guiding time cap for this workout. So with this, you're starting off with a cal row. If you don't have a rower at home, we can just substitute this with burpees. I would say follow the second number here, so go 45 burpees on that first set, 35 in that middle set, and 20 on the last one. Then in between, you're doing sets of box jumps and clean and jerks. And the box height is getting higher and the clean and jerk weight is getting heavier after each set. So once you finish this section, you're gonna get a little bit heavier here, and then this is gonna be your heaviest set at the end. So with the box jumps, guys, if you don't really have something to really jump on and you can increment in height, that's okay, just keep one height throughout it. Maybe for the clean and jerks, that's where you kind of add your stimulus, that gradually adding weight to it each time. So maybe that 12, 9, 6, you do it at a certain weight. Maybe you have two kind of water jugs, you fill them up maybe a third of the way, and you do your first round with that. Then for that middle round, you fill up the water bottle, maybe going, or the jugs, to about 2/3 of the way, and use that weight for the 9, 6, 3. And then for the last set, you have full capacity of those jugs, and you use them both for your clean and jerks at the end. And that's a good way to kind of still feel that stimulus out of the weight gradually increasing, and you're still doing the same amount of movements or the same style of movements in the workout here. So it's a good way to kind of alter it for a home style workout. You can also do the same idea with a sandbag if you have that available to you for today's workout. And again, box jumps, if you can't really go higher with it or you don't feel safe with it, just kind of keep it at the same height and stick to that for today. And then the Calorie Row, you can go for your burpees instead. Or if you're kind of sick and tired of the burpees from yesterday, we can go for double unders. I would say since this is about 3 minutes of work, maybe you go 200 double unders for that first set, 150 for the second set, and then 100 for that last set there. Okay, so you can think about it as that way for your row. Instead of rowing, you can do that, and instead of burpees as well. Once you're done that workout, we're gonna cool down with some thoracic mobility. So we're gonna work on all the kind of positions of our thoracic spine, really get that mobilized. Again, that really helps us make sure we can really breathe properly. If you have a really tightened up thoracic spine, it's really hard to kind of do movements and also breathe in that position. So we're really gonna try to focus on opening up that thoracic spine for you and get you set for the next weeks of workouts to come. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you next for the warm-up video.
Okay guys, for our warm-up today, we are starting off with some alternating Deadbug leg and arm raises. So we're doing this for a minute, and we're gonna do 2 rounds of this. So we're gonna start off on our backs here in that Deadbug, so head and neck relaxed, arms are gonna be up in the air, and then I'm gonna bring my feet up. I'm gonna try to keep my legs straight if I can, arms straight, and then I'm gonna alternate. As my right leg goes down, my left arm goes overhead. Never go too low where you start to overarch that back. You want that low back pressed into the floor the whole time. So we're again just switching from one side to the other. Notice how I'm doing this slow and control. I always find controlling this movement to be more beneficial, especially since we're just warming up that core. You're gonna do that for a minute, take a little break, and then you're gonna go for another minute. After you're done that, you're gonna go for 3 rounds, starting off with some bent over rows. There is a little adjustment in the normal bent over row because we're doing this from the deadlift position. So normally when we do bent over rows, we would have our object and we keep our legs relatively straight, maybe not fully locked out, but we'll keep them relatively straight. From here, we actually want to be in the deadlift position. So my shoulders are going to be just a little bit ahead of the object, my shins are going to be straight in the air, and of course my back is going to be flat. Notice how my head and neck is neutral, so I'm not looking straight, I'm looking in a neutral position, lengthening the top of my head, the crown of my head all the way down to the bottom of my spine. And I'm just gonna squeeze those shoulder blades, pull my object in, and then back down. We're going for a set of 10 of those. Of course, I'm keeping my elbows tucked in tight to my body, and I'm trying to engage those upper back muscles at the top by squeezing them together. Once we're done that, we're gonna go for 8 tempo deadlifts. So for our tempo today, we don't actually have a time that we want you counting it out. We just want you guys going slow on the way down. So we're getting to that bottom of that deadlift position, head and neck neutral, push with the heels, open the hip. We're gonna squeeze that butt, rib cage is down, and then on the way down, nice and slow, we're gonna hinge at that hip, pushing it back. When your hands get about to knee position, we're gonna lower the rest of that movement with the legs. So remember, we're not just lifting with the legs, but we're lowering with the legs. You can stand up at a normal speed, go a little quicker. On the way down, we're really slowing it down. Once you're done 8 of those, you're gonna go for 6 hang muscle cleans per arm. So in the hang muscle clean, we're gonna start off by standing with our dumbbell. We're gonna push that hip back just like we did in a deadlift, but this time I am looking straight. My back and chest is a little bit taller. I'm gonna think of squeezing my butt, driving my elbow up, and then catching my dumbbell on the shoulder. So again, hips go back, push my elbow up, catch it on the shoulder. Notice I'm not catching it in a dip position for now. We're just warming up with the muscle clean. You can do all 6 on one side, or you can alternate if you like. We're doing 3 rounds of that. We'll see you for the workout next.
Yourself an object, going for box jump, 4, 15 box jumps. You can step down, or you can jump up and jump down as long as you're not doing this. Open your hips at the top in your jump.
Those 9 hang power cleans, so again, you guys can use that same weight. If you're going single arm, let's go 9 per side, or if you have a barbell, just go 9 total as prescribed. For those hang power cleans, guys, we're gonna bend over at the hips, kind of like that bent over row position. From here, we're gonna drive through the legs nice and hard. As we drive through the legs nice and hard, pull through the elbow. We're gonna land in that front rack position. So that front rack position, elbows tall, hips are back. Then we're gonna stand it up from there before we start our next rep. So nice hard drive, elbow through, hips back, and then stand it up. Make sure, guys, it's common. We're gonna be kind of wanting to let our knees kind of go forward and catch with those femurs. We want to push the hips back as we catch it. So for the push press, remember it's one continuous movement, so you're not re-dipping in the knees. Just make sure you squeeze those glutes, lock out those knees as you extend straight up. So if you're going single object, you can go 10 and 10 per side here. With that dip and drive, remember, as we're coming down, we want to stay nice and vertical. So we don't want to deviate that back angle at all. We want to keep it nice and straight, almost like as if I were leaning against that wall and I'm just going down with the length of the wall there, so I'm staying nice and straight. So think about that, guys. You're dipping down, staying nice and tall. Weight is going to be a little bit more in that heel as you're coming down. On the way up, guys, driving hard through the legs. As soon as we extend those legs, those knees, we're going to be driving that weight overhead. And again, once we're over here, squeeze your shoulder blades together, make sure they're backing down before you start that next rep. You can go continuously, or you can stop in that front rack position if you need to reset. Remember, you're going to dip and drive up. As I'm bringing it down, it's about an inch off my shoulder, about a centimeter there. I'm going to start dipping down so that I can start my next rep. So control the way down, getting ready, dip, going into that next rep.
All right, guys, we're here for the afterburner. We're gonna do some thoracic mobility here. So find yourself a ball or something that's soft that you can kind of rest your back on and almost arch over it. Don't pick something too hard there. It's gonna feel painful in the back. That pivot point, we want it to be at the middle of our back. So we're gonna use that object to pivot at that point. So I'm gonna use this med ball here. I'm gonna lie back onto it. I'm gonna gonna try to pivot at that middle point of my back. From here, once I'm in that arch position, I'm gonna get my arms overhead, so behind my back, the back of my head I mean. From here we're going for 10 flexion extension reps here. So we're gonna kind of let ourselves go back, extending as much as we can, and then pulling back in as much as we can. We're gonna be doing 10 reps here, nice and slow. Again, these are not for time or anything like that. We're just trying to open up that back and that thoracic spine there. From there, we're gonna go into some side twists. So same position. This time we're gonna kind of bring our elbow towards our hip and then back in again, then switch and do it on the opposite side. You'll notice that you'll feel tight on those lats. You might need to work on a little bit more mobility in that section if you need to there. You find that you're really tight when you're going down, especially on the opposite side. But we're gonna go again, 10, alternating as you're in that arch position, okay? Once you're done that, we're gonna go for rotations to finish off. So still again, mid-back is that anchor point there. You're gonna twist and look towards the floor, back into that center position, same thing, twist. And always try to move that whole upper body towards the direction that we're twisting towards. So 10 reps of everything, guys. Take it slow. You can use a pillow. You might need to stack a couple of them. Make sure it's not too hard on your back. And you're twisting at that middle point of your back there. That'll be where your thoracic spine meets. So make sure it's at that point there. Other than that, guys, hope you guys enjoy the mobility in the WOD. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the next workout.